inspirational pastor. Lead pastor of Metro Harvest, the church with our walls, Reverend Dormah's ministry extends far beyond the pulpit.
There you go. There you go. Good morning, people. Very soon we'll be on the radio. We are here with you for a very special interview. This is Isaac. Good morning. Getting the feet. Wonderful. This is Isaac Tupac Jr., an OG, and I'm here with another one, Reverend Killer Dormah, the author of this wonderful book, Diamonds in the Dirt, is what we're going to be talking about today. Reverend Dormah will be sharing with us some of the motivations behind this book, the inspiration, some of the actions, some of the influences, and hopefully from this discussion, we'll have a fairly good idea about what diamond in the dirt means, how it impacts us, what the potential is for changing lives, and just the balance of science and faith, and how it can bring things together for people who believe and people who want to act. So, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I hope you guys on the live out there can hear us. If you can't, I think I can see your comments. You can make a comment. But yeah, this is a very wonderful time for me. Before we get into anything, whether personal or whether the book, I just want to debrief on yesterday. You right?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it's gonna be a part of this, but yesterday was exciting for me. We've been doing our drone thing, and as a young man in Liberia, I did visit the Hotel Africa, casino, and I hung out there a few times. But the vantage point I have, using our drones to capture images, is great. But being able to actually physically go into that area yesterday near the CC Beach, right, and see what was going on, it was extremely impressive. So I just want to ask you, Caleb, what was the inspiration behind Graceland before we even get into the real stuff? And the selection of that particular place is just idyllic. It's wonderful.
We had these children in a location, and they quadrupled the rent on us. We took them to a smaller place that I felt uncomfortable with, and we started to look for a place. And the matron said, "I found a place in Banjo, somewhere on the beach." I said, "Banjo? How can I get to that place all the time? I mean, it's too far." She said, "Just come and see."
When I was younger, I used to think Banjo was in Cape Town.
I delayed. But one day I just said, "Oh, let me just go see for the fun of it, just to cancel it out." I got to the place, I saw the yard, and it freaked me out. I went through the place, and I said, "Wow, this is a beautiful place." In fact, from seeing the yard, I started to plan where to put the playground and all that. And like you yesterday, I saw the gate, and I walked towards the gate, and they called the guy to open the gate. I'm like, wow.
That's exactly
Wow.
the effect.
I mean, I just fell in love with the place, and I knew that it was a place for these children to grow up, another environment that will be nurturing and all of that. That that how I got to know that place.
Wonderful. All right, folks. So this is a very special time for me. Reverend Dormah and I have known each other for like 52 years. We met in 1974. Um, so it's been a long time, right? But you know, tell us a little bit about your journey from that mischievous young man on Cara High to your development as a basketball player, the national sports icon, your pastorhood, and now this important work that you do. Just give us some highlights about your journey.
In this journey, there are many of you that I have to say thank you to you, Nyakwe Kabo, Emmerich Tips, and all of us that
Tanu Drago tell us right now.
Tanu Drago, and all of us that helped me to be competitive. Um, I was small. I had to work overtime to do the things that you do. And when I got used to doing it, I developed something else, which is speed. When you later left Carroll High, I became the badminton champion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I became table tennis champion.
See, the thing I used to be here and when we get champion, the guy is hardworking, competitive, no joke.
I even played for the Carroll rugby team.
The rugby team.
Yeah. In fact, I was on the rugby team that went to Firestone and won the national trophy. You know, I made the soccer. At one point, we had this British guy who was the coach for the soccer team, and every time we went there in a league, I will be either the first or top or the next score, the highest scorer. And he said I should come on the team. But I never ever got to play on the soccer team because I would play volleyball, I would play basketball, and when it came for
multi-talented, really.
You know, I mean, and they followed me. When I came to the University of Liberia, the first team that I made was the soccer team.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's some good players like you.
I made the soccer team. In fact, Kadala started to call me number one.
Kadala Kuma.
Yeah, started to call me number one. And he and may his soul rest in peace, the late Brown, coach, he was coaching. Brown, he was goalkeeper and a coach.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the first name.
How can I forget my big brother's first name like that? We'll get to it.
Yeah.
And I made a soccer team. Then I made a volleyball team. While playing volleyball, one day my tires came running. I also hear you play basketball. I said, yeah. He said, let's go. We play on the LU court. That evening, he took me to Dormah High. We played. I said, my man, Saturday I'm carrying you to the YMCA. I mean, because when I later made the LU basketball team, I had to drop the football.
Right.
It was
conflicting.
Yeah, too much conflict. The amazing thing is, Hassan Kesiru will still call me this name, no specialization.
You talking about Heron Brown, right?
Yeah, well, Heron Brown, yes. We were going to a LUCUC meet, and the basketball team had just completed their practice for that day, and we passed to the Anthony Tottenham Stadium to see who all were there. And they were completing the track and field team. And I said, but I can do it better than them. Everybody laughed about it. And they said, okay, this heat is supposed to be 8. We only got 4 person join it. I came with a third best record.
Wow. Speed kills.
All the basketballers that were there that were thinking I was joking, they started to laugh. I said I would do the 200 meter also. I came second.
Speed kills.
It hasn't gotten funny yet. Short put, long jump, high jump. I qualified. Leon Gary and I qualified for all.
Yeah, Leon Gary was a great athlete.
Yeah, and then they kept asking, but which one you will do? I said, no specialization. The day of the track, I didn't do any of those. I did the 1500 meter, even though I came fifth, but it was exciting that the last 2 rounds, I was in about 12th place. And I picked up and started until the national coach came to me and said, "Why you don't try this?" I said, "No, I was it was just for fun." You know, I mean, all that, it says that I saw challenges ahead of me, and I knew that with time, I mean, there were ways to conquer those challenges, and uh, in a joyful way, we did that. Look, there's some things that maybe because of the nature I have, I haven't even been able to say. I came to college 17 years old.
Right.
I probably would have been one of the first Zogos in Nigeria. I not had people who surrounded me. I came to Monrovia without a mother, without a father, without relatives. So I went from friend to friend and stayed.
Wow.
At that time, you see the information ministry, it was not fenced. You could just walk through there, walk through the rest of Capitol Hill and get to LU campus. There were many nights I sat under the light on those blocks,
Right.
pretending to be studying, but it was where I slept. And
Really?
ran to the dormitory the next morning, asked a friend to take bath in their place. You see, LU auditorium, they got layers of curtains in the back on the stage.
Yes.
And when we came, it was air conditioned.
So all you LU students, your auditorium had air conditioning back in the day.
And the good thing about it is when I sit and study for a long time, I just maybe go behind the third curtain, lie down and sleep. Get up in the morning, go. I mean, people saw the Caleb outside who was the athlete and never knew the struggle that was going on behind the scene.
Wow.
But I still want to say thanks to people like Matthias Neiman. May his soul rest in peace. David Chia, who became big brothers, who helped me along the way, guided me.
Right.
I want to say thanks to David Brown, Anna Badio, the
whole family,
yeah,
the whole Python's family.
the Python's family, the Guru family. I mean, because they were there, I could see them going this way. It was like, hey, you can't go the other way. I mean, I think they had a positive peer pressure on me to grow up into the person that. But it was not easy.
No.
My sister will tell you, even going to national team practice, sometimes I took cardboard and put it in my sneakers and went, simply because maybe I was taught not to just see people and ask them for things.
Right.
I needed to be the man who will work for the thing that I had. And she till this day she laughs at me. Big man, you were on national team when putting cardboard in, and we would laugh about it. You know, growing up wasn't easy. When I was giving up, God didn't give up on me. My friends stood by me along the way. And when I think about all of that, growing up, I carry high. I mean, I want to be thankful to family for their support. Family, community, and all of that. I was a community child. While growing up, if I did something down the road and somebody caught me doing the wrong thing, they spanked me, and I dare not go tell my mother.
Because they will spank you again.
They will spank me
And that's
again.
the culture we had.
Yeah, they will spank me again. It put me straight. Again, to the Christian brothers, they broaden my horizon on a lot of things. And I'm so thankful and grateful to them. Like I said, to all of you, Tano, you, Emery, Nyakwe, and even all those that I fought with at that time.
Right.
You know,
They still help to mold the person you are today.
I look at all those times and say, wow, growing up was good.
Yeah, I mean-
I even remember the time, I will not call his name, when he and I fought, and you and Cabo got angry that he fought me, and I beat the man, and Abba and Cabo said they need to jump on the man. So,
But that was me back in the day. I'm not like that anymore. It's unreal. Wonderful. So yeah, those are experiences that molded you. Now, what inspired you to write Diamonds in the Dirt? Before we start talking about what inspired you to put this book together.
the inspiration came from looking at myself. That's one. It came from the young people that I see from day to day since 2017. It comes from the whole idea that my interaction with them has taught me that it was the best of us are going to the ghetto. The look, the most skillful ones of our children, clever. One day in 2020, I was in the ghetto with a laptop that was spoiled. I was going to the ghetto, but I needed to repair my laptop.
Mhm.
I took it downtown to the shop, and they told me $120. I said, no, I got to feed, I got to pay transportation and all of that. I cannot afford it now. I put it in my bag and got in the car, rushed to the ghetto with the team. We did our service, we fed, we were counseling, and some people were getting medical. And this boy kept behind me. He wanted to see my laptop. I'm in the ghetto. I can't give my laptop when my attention is not there. So I said, no. I gave him excuses. After about 4.5 hours in the ghetto, while we were getting back on the vehicle, he came back to me. Can I see you now? I said, I'm tired. I go. He scrambled a telephone number on a piece of paper and gave it to me. True to my word, when I got home, I called him. He said, turn the computer on. I turned it on. He said, what do you see? I think it was some
Blue screen.
screen or something. I see it. He said, press this button. I pressed it. He said, what do you see? I told him. He said, press this other button. He waited a while and he said, what do you see? I told him. After about 5-7 minutes, he said, cut the computer off. Turn it on. Yeah, I said, I see my old background. He said, all right, it will work now. I'm like, gosh. He did it remotely.
Right.
The best of us going to drugs. And I go back to him, I say, son, can you and I join and open a shop?
A computer repair shop.
Yeah. And he said, Papi, that money can come slow.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, how can I help? How can I help this dude? We're still in contact, and these are some of the things that in the ghetto, I've gone there and things have happened to my vehicle. They've repaired it and all of that.
So all the skills in the ghetto.
My phone got stolen. I'm telling you about their honesty and their loyalty. My phone got stolen from my house. It ended on Gurley and Kiri Street. I have given up on the ride. And it seemed like they were selling it to these people, and the wrong person was around, or the right person was around from the ghetto. And he said, oh, that our papa phone, yeah, his picture, yeah, all, yeah. And there was a tussle.
Oh, wow.
He jacked it and ran straight to the police station and reported the phone. The police called me for the phone. And I told him I'm coming. They told me, describe the future. I said, most of the pictures there will be ghetto picture, but if you go there, I'm holding this baby in my hand. The baby passed away a few days ago. I said, okay, come. When I got there, police being police, they wanted small things to give me my phone.
Oh my
back.
God. So you see that's some of the problems in our system. But go ahead. People got to get paid to do their jobs. But go ahead.
The boy jacked the phone from here again. Say, Papa, take your
Your
phone,
phone,
man.
man.
Take your phone and go. I'm saying, look, these guys, something drove them there, like something that could have driven me there too. So when I see this and I see them recovering and the work we're doing with them, it moved me to write Diamonds in the Dirt. I truly believe that in the dirt of the ghetto, we have the best of us. We have, I mean, Willie used to call them jewel, precious jewel.
That one, I was going to get to that.
Okay.
So hold on one second to make that comparison, right? So for me, the title is very powerful, Diamonds in the Dirt. So for the people listening out there, for the people who will eventually buy and read this book, and the people on social media, what do you want them to think different about the young people who we call Zogo today? And just the name Zogo, is it something that you want to change, that people should stop referencing those young people as that, or is just something we accept now because we had an issue with the organization we created, right? Zogos We Care. Some people had issues with the name Zogos, but
People got issue with it. I laugh at anyone they call me Zogo Pastor. Am I being branded? I sit down with them and we talk, and they refer to themselves as that. I sometimes think it is us who have the problem with words. We put a connotation on a word and we look at people that way. Take, for example, some people say, what's the difference? I mean, my office is at risk youth. What's the difference? It's still branding these people.
Yeah, you put them in a category.
You putting them in a category. Unless we just want to say youth ministry, which will encompass different kind of youth ministry. I mean, it's just, but if you stigmatizing them with that name, you are wrong. Completely wrong to do that. When you gave them the stigma, there's something they call, I mean, you believe that they are this type of people, they will never change.
Right.
And it hurts you. It hurts you the same way you think it's hurting them. I mean, you are trying to brand them because it's your mentality that you're bringing out to impose on someone else.
I understand. So in terms of these young people, right? President Dormah called them his precious jewels, right? And you are calling them diamonds. And diamond is a precious jewel, right? So how do you think that statement, precious jewel, would resonate with some of those people who probably understood what President Dormah was going with this? I used to be jealous, to be honest, because I thought I only guessed that he was talking.
You tell us the Jew that you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I thought I only Jew you were talking about. I don't even know that the developer of the word Jew and Jewel, but anyway, President Dormah really seemed to want the youth to develop, and he felt the future of the nation depended on the youth. And you have identified these people who are in this category, who are in this frame right now in their lives as diamonds in the dirt. So, what is that connection or comparison between you, what you said, and what Dormah said?
Dormah was way ahead of his time.
No doubt, I agree with you in every aspect.
He looked at us and projected the future and wanted, like, we were somewhere way in the future. So when he said that, he was way ahead. Then somewhere around there, a lot of things happened. War came. And those that were supposed to treat Liberian youth precious decided that money matters more than the lives of these children. How can someone participate in a war for 13 years and you rehabilitate it for 2 days?
Did they even do 2 days? I'm not sure.
And 2 days and get them. I mean, they go in camp today, you give them money tomorrow and say you can go.
And you know what's funny? This morning I was discussing with somebody about that whole what is it, DDRR or something,
Yeah.
demobilization,
DDRR.
right, DDRR. Thank you. And the person was telling me about 540. He said the reason why they call that place 540, you'll give the children $540
Yeah.
to turn in their arms and then basically go ahead and do what you want to do. And most of them spend that money in a short time. They got drunk, they enjoy themselves, the money gone. And then what happens? So in this reference with regards to President Tolbert and the youths, there's certain things that you have to do, and I think you mentioned that a little bit yesterday with diamonds, in terms of how it becomes an actual valuable stone. So how can we do some of those things that we can extract these diamonds from the dirt for them to be able to be productive citizens that can be able to reintegrate into society?
You see, there's diamonds is way deep down in the dirt, and I'm told it's in Cumberland pipes across. And amazingly, I was reading from somewhere to say 12 of those pipes go through Liberia, and that only 2 of it go through South Africa. I mean,
So you see, maybe you should go sit down with President Boyga, because President Boyga said we need to have people here who can analyze our entire geography to see the locations of our precious minerals. So
I mean,
are you serious?
I mean, I read that thing. I said it cannot be. You mean 2 pipes improve South Africa like that? And we got 12 diamond Cumberland.
I gotta do more research on that, folks, because this is interesting news. Because I'm of the belief that if we can really establish some ring fence around our minerals, we can become a different nation. But that's another discussion for another day.
To get to it, there are 2 types of mining that you can do: open pit, and the other one that you dig into the ground. All of them dangerous. All of them dangerous. You go through those hard, dangerous effort to get diamonds out of the soil, only to put on rings and necklaces. Our children, our diamonds are right before. Look, it hurts me that this nation, a few years back, had 3 cases of coronavirus. We shut the whole nation down. We got more than 1 million of our children on drugs, and we're doing business as usual.
That number, that I will come back to that number as soon as you finish talking. That million number.
Yeah. Look, it hurts me. I think we need to shut this nation down now until we start rehabilitating. Everything need to go there, or else we lose our future. What we do today guarantees our future. Our children going to drugs. Hey, let's sit down and figure out how it is coming. What can we do to stop it? And at the same time, how can we do the remedial things to get our children back on track?
Do you think it's a national security risk?
Very big national security risk. Look, I went to some mining sites in the southeast. What they call Dormah or Dormah. It's a big ghetto.
Oh, that's a fact. I went to couple in River since.
The people who got the small mine, they bring in the drugs. They give it to the children to say, look, you're not working hard, man. Take some of the thing and get in Zico. So you can do
the word Zico.
Get in Zico and do the work. They feed you with it for 2 weeks. When you get addicted to it, they take it back. When the children want it, they say, oh, my business there, you got to pay for it.
Wow.
So they say, oh, you pay me at the end of the week or at the end of the month. Just give me a ticket for my pay. And they keep taking it and do not ever get paid. But they got to get in Zico. They already addicted to it.
Wow.
Hey, how do we treat our own like this? And nobody cares. because it's not my child. And we don't realize that our children will interact with these people one way or the other.
Yes.
They might not be even safe to go to school because a lot of these people are on the street. Hey, Abba, when the guys know you,
They know you.
they know you. They sacrifice anything for you. I'm saying we need now to start and sacrifice everything for them so that they can have their future back.
So the number 1 million. Some people don't know. We don't really have a real census of these young people, right? But I was at a training session last week, and we're just discussing some general stuff. And one guy said, every family got one Zogo. And I'm like, if our population is 5 point something million, even though I think we're about 6 million, but if the number is 5 point something million, and just about 1 million households, and each family probably got one Zogo, that probably means that 1 million people we're talking about. That population is huge because it's not limited to only the urban area anymore. It's all over the country. So do you think government needs to do an actual census of the population to really understand the depth of it, the potential impact, and see them to start to find solutions? Because I don't think there's any. We've been behind this for a while now. You have had engagement with different ministers at different levels.
Abba, these statistics come from the United Nations population.
UNFPA,
the UNFPA,
right,
and the Ministry of Youth and Sports. May 2022, they had a fundraising at the ministerial complex. They said 20% of our youth in Liberia are on drugs.
Wow.
Let's take the population of 5.5. Right?
5.5 million.
And we say 65% of our population is a youthful population, is a youth.
Right. I think more, but
yeah. 20% of 65 of that 65% is about 700. At that time, it was about 700 plus thousand. And they were talking about youth. They were not talking about adults and the children that are on drugs. They said 20% of the youth. They were not talking about the adults and the children. From 2022 to 2026, I'm talking about the fastest growing industry in the country. When nothing is happening, the drug industry is working and recruiting more people.
Wow.
There is a ghetto planted around every school, no matter what kind of school it is. It be a kindergarten school. People are putting drugs in milk candy. Milk candy, not for you and myself.
That's scary.
It's not for you and myself. So when I'm talking about 1 million, I'm talking about 1 million youth, not the
whole population.
No, I'm putting the total population to 1.4 million people in on drugs in Liberia, a quarter of our population.
Folks, I don't know who's listening to this, but to say 25% of our population is on drugs. And yes, some people can function on drugs, but it's extremely scary. And it comes back to the point of national security, right? So I will ask you this. In a ghetto, is it structure? Is leadership structure?
Very structured. Very structured. More structured than normal community.
Because I've seen it.
You've been there with me.
The CEO.
The 5-star general word is the word. You dare not go against the 5-star general's word. In fact, you even a best friend. If I'm the 5-star general, I can tell you, young man, look, slap Ava, and he will do it. And Ava can't get best with me.
You're the 5-star.
I'm the 5-star. And you
Folks, that command structure is real. I've seen it happen right there. Somebody disrespect somebody, say your head on that man. It happens just like in a military situation. So it comes to my next question. If there is such a structure, and let's say another charismatic leader, a chancellor type, comes around and wants to organize all the ghettos around, do you think that's possible?
to answer your question, let me just take you back. A few months ago, we heard the King Gray, the ghetto dwellers, got in the street and said they won't go to rehab, right? You saw that demonstration? And in a panic mood, you've exposed to a lot of people and send them to the refugee to
Liberal refugee place?
yeah,
Okay.
they took them there.
Refugee and resettlement or something.
Resettlement, they took them there. You think who organized that?
But I heard when they left, they took beds and everything. You know?
Yeah, I saw some of them. They told me we told them mattresses. They ain't got nothing for all the get care or the. I mean,
So that comes with planning. But go ahead.
yeah. You see who organized that? It's the dealer who was saying. I mean, who said to them, "Get in the street. They ain't got nowhere to. They get troubling you for nothing. They ain't got nowhere to carry you. You get in the street. They will get confused and lead you. It's the dealers who orchestrated it. Even the Say No to Drug March, they were there saying say no to drugs. And I mean feeding the poor of the nation.
Right.
Ava, it's scary. I work there day and night. If 1 million people are on drugs, it means we are able to get at least 40 representatives in an election.
Right.
That, like you say, a charismatic person in that place who's selling drugs can summon them to do that. Half of our
all of them got a voting card.
yeah. Oh yeah. Half our senators, half or more of our senators could be elected on that basis. But think about 1 million people voting for one person in Liberia. You become president. This thing we are playing with, unless we take it serious, unless we put a hand-on thing to it, we will hurt ourselves. All the infrastructure we try to build, it will get ruined if we don't first reconstruct the minds of the people.
That's critical.
Yeah.
That mindset is where the change has to come. So yeah, so we're talking. I know we briefly talked about one of the causes, right? But let's go to some of the root causes. You and I grew up. Marijuana was around. Someone from Carolina, we probably we tried it. Unfortunately for us, coming back to Morovia, our parents were able to, or just the fear of my parents, caused some of us to stop. But I know many of my schoolmates from Carolina continue, and other people in other areas, whether it was people who are playing soccer with, people who are gambling in West Point or wherever else, who stayed on it, right? But today, what are the root causes you think driving people toward drugs?
It's a lot. It's a lot. There are so many good things about the internet and the world opening up. It brings a lot of things on the table, but yet there are some negatives. We're too open to what's happening everywhere else. And we think that without the discipline in that other place, we can inculcate all their habits here with the thought that, human rights. I got the right to do this. I got it. Don't hear me wrong. I'm not crying down human rights.
Right.
But when you're not supposed to talk hard to your child because they got it right. But you letting them sit down there and getting damaged without even a strong conversation with them. I was in one internet cafe some years ago, and this girl just came. Our man used to beat off for everything. The guy used to crush all our rights. I said, what are you talking? I told the girl I would never have been the person I am today if my mom didn't beat me. Maybe at that time, I mean, maybe that type of thing was wrong in other people's eyes, but it was a thing for me to be scared of, to not to get into other things. They will boss man do good, you know. What they one morning I was going to preach in one church, and I got some that morning I went to Invincible Park. On my way walking back, I see all these children. I mean, cars passing by me going to church, and their parents going to church. All of them got basketball on their shoulder, going to the park. Who are they going to? Who are they meeting there that the parents don't know and leaving them to them? I run a basketball program during the vacation. I keep the children for 8 hours because their parents not home. I don't want them to stay in community and community teach them the wrong thing. We are getting to this point because we've taken ourselves to be individuals and no longer community. If a member of the community came to you and said, I don't like the friends your children are with. You said that your business. I saw your child smoking. You lie on my child. That the way you can be jealous.
Jealous of what?
You know, and because we are no longer a village to bring up the children,
Right.
we have left it to individuals. I've heard one child, I think they were doing something, and he appeared with him. When I get sick, that you can carry me to hospital, that my mom can carry me to hospital. I mean, I'm like, damn. Where the other one covering in this? Well, our big brother used to come here.
And even just knowing your neighbors these days.
Yeah.
When I used to know from all the way down Ashland Street, all the way up to the top of the hill. I knew everybody. I knew who was in which house and everything. Nowadays, sometimes you go in neighborhoods to find somebody, nobody know the name, nobody know the person.
You know?
So, that sense of community, that sense of family in neighborhood.
The breaking
It's
down,
actually changing.
families have broken down. And because family have broken down, community have. And again, in 2003, I told somebody this. The children then, in fact, I was teaching and they were saying the children who didn't fight more hard head, and I said yes. Those that didn't fight are having hard head because they think that they should enjoy some of the benefits that they're giving to those that are fighting, that fought. More than that, I told them, I'm afraid years down the line, it will be worse. Because you see, these children who were born 1985, they experience a little bit of family who are the old way of life. Those that were born in 1995, they know the war and the freedom the war gave to them. The freedom the world gave to them to do anything. Their children will seek for more freedom because they don't have the discipline to discipline their children. And this, let's say, a fair attitude will continue for a long time until government, until institutions can put their foot down and say we're going the wrong way. Let's come back. to the things that we used to do in the past. Let's look for the good in it and recreate it for our purpose today. I think that that's some of the things that are bringing this. We have allow freedom to be free to the point where everybody everybody does it their own way.
Can we take a break? We'll take a few minutes break and then come back. But this is very interesting conversation, and I hope you can join us after a 1 minute break. Thank you. So you guys on social media, we'll be taking a break. Um, I will move this from stage, and we'll get back to you shortly. Okay, folks, welcome back. Um, we have, I guess, the last half of this, and so we are talking to Reverend Caleb Dormah, the author of Diamonds in the Dirt. Is right here, Diamonds in the Dirt. Um, it's a book about his efforts, his life calling right now. That's why I say it is. He has a calling to do this. He's totally in tune with it. He's making a difference for a lot of people, it is important that we wrap our arms around him and see how we can help. So um, at the next break, I will put on there a bank account number or a mobile money number that hopefully those who will want to support this effort can relate to, and also a contact number that people can call and be able to engage on Killer or his organization to see how they can help. So as we move into this discussion, can you just tell us a little bit more about, and I think you mentioned that yesterday, but one or two experiences that really solidify your effort and say, yes, this is what I need to be doing because these things happen. I had this exposure, I had this experience.
I, with all that is happening, my heart goes out to young women and children in the ghetto. It's because the children, especially unborn children, God knows, take in their addiction. They get addicted through their parents. I know this for fact because there are many children that are born that we take in, that we have to take them through the hospital to be detoxed. I mean, if you don't do that, they cry endlessly. Sometimes you don't do until you do that. Sometimes they don't even poop regularly.
Wow.
Yeah. I have a story about a little boy who I took keen interest in, a baby that I took keen interest in. The mother and father were living in Pennant Building.
Just for people to know, Pennant Building is the one on Center Street, right?
Center Street near the graveyard.
Right.
I mean, when I got there, it was filthy. It was nasty. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. The first few days I went there, I refused to go upstairs. I mean, let me describe it. At the top of it, it didn't have roof. People went there and used it as bathroom, toilet.
At the top.
At the top.
Over the head.
Over their head where they sleep. And there's a cement that is cracking. When it rains, everything comes down the walls. And the walls in their rooms were green. In fact, when I went there to clean up, we took 4 dump truck loads of dirt from in the building that they were sleeping in.
4 dump trucks?
4 dump truck loads of dirt from there. This little boy was living there with his parents. And I asked them if I could have the child at my house. And they pleaded with me constantly that he needed breast milk, which I thought, if I was thinking the way I'm thinking now, I would have said something else. But I kept on pleading with them, and they said, okay, when he's 8 months, you will carry him. 8 months came, they gave me some window again. In that window, it was on a Thursday, I took food, clothing, Pampers, and stuff for the baby. Held the baby, walked around with the baby. Left the baby in the evening and went. The next evening, I was walking down from Carey and Center Street, coming down to Benson Street. And someone just saw me. Papi, your baby not there. Who my baby not there? Oh, you know your baby? Your baby in the ghetto there. I said, who? I mean, I saw the baby yesterday. Healthy. Very, very healthy. For somebody to come, I mean, I was not even thinking about it. But the baby you're holding yesterday. I said, no.
Wow.
So I ran there And the mother is sitting down there with other people and crying. And tears filling my eyes. And people are coming around, oh, Pastor crying. I'm like, damn, where your feelings gone? That baby died. And I'm listening to the stories of everyone that the baby was happy that morning, walking all around the place and playing, and the baby came and just lie down and died. And I said to myself, God, they let somebody drop a tramadol, somebody drop some drugs that the baby took and put straight in his mouth. And he was dizzy. He came back here to look for his mom because he was stone high. He just lied down. He was overdosed. He died.
And for babies like that, when they die in that kind of situation, they probably just bury them. They don't find out the cause of death.
No, they didn't.
Wow.
By the time I got there, they had already buried the baby. They had dug a hole in the Palm Grove Cemetery and just put the baby there and covered it.
No embalming, nothing.
Nothing. I went home that day crying. This baby is gone.
That's scary. So I mean,
The next thing that happened was this girl had a 6 weeks old baby, begging her to carry the baby, but petting her also. That I should take the baby from. They moved from Penner Building to the graveyard, so they are living in a grave now. And I go there, carry the pampers and food and everything. So we sat on the grave, kept a conversation for 10 minutes. Then I said, I'm leaving because you don't intend giving me any of your tea that you're boiling. He said, no, Papi, they're not tea. You. I said, what? That grass are boiling to give to the baby.
so just make it clear. Some putting grass out.
Yeah,
Grass medicine, marijuana. Right?
marijuana are boiling to give to the baby so the baby can sleep for me to go out tonight to go hustle. I'm like, wow. You see, I said, you see the children, they got no, they willing to get addicted. They didn't even know they were getting addicted. They didn't know anything. When we were supposed to be giving them motherly, fatherly love, we were there abusing them,
Right.
even from the womb. These two instances redirected my mission in the ghetto to young women and children. This is why, in fact, I got Graceland. Graceland is where children from
Refuge for them. Right?
yeah,
A home.
it's a home. It's a place where I'm not just giving them roof. I'm giving them life, so that they can. I was in Graceland yesterday, and one of the children said, "Grandpa, I want a bicycle." They not in ghetto community where they will want. They will see the regular drug.
Right.
thing.
You want a reflection of
Yeah,
your
yeah.
environment. Now
Yeah.
they need something different, so
Yeah.
they want some better things.
Some better things.
Yeah. So just walk us through the process. If today there's a child that somebody, brings to the doors of Graceland, what happens?
The first thing is we get the police involved.
Oh, that's good.
You get the police involved. Police gets a record of that. They are now telling us that we have to get the courts involved,
Okay.
because the police may be giving a testimony about our dealing, but the court is the one that really gave the permission
Okay.
for that kind of a thing. And the gender ministry, we get them involved also.
Okay. So then once you notify them and stuff, then they give you some kind of approval, say, go ahead and take care of the child.
Yeah.
And then in terms of now, feeding, taking care? What's the structure like, the staffing and how things
We,
work?
we got two matrons at Graceland. We got an assistant there who helps the matron with cooking, washing, and all of that. And we got two study class teachers
Yeah.
there that work with them after school. With, they take their full time to do that. And we also are in contact with clinics and hospitals or where More Grace Clinic on the ELWA road has played a big role in our life. And I want to thank God for them. These people, when any of these children got sick in the past, they treated them and they say Caleb will pay when he has the money.
Wow.
In fact, the girls from Kingway who were, if they got beaten up badly, hurt, if they were pregnant, if there's something wrong with them, and they went to More Grace, and they say, the papa say, "Won't come here." They will treat you, and then they will call me. When my phone doesn't ring, they will say, "Oh, I think he out of the country," and they will use my WhatsApp to get to me. This has been it, and like I said, I'm very thankful to my family and friends all across the world who call and say, "Killer, how can I help? How can I help?" Who has been there for me? They get embarrassed when I call their names. I'll write like this, but
Yeah, you just made a point that struck me, or statement, and I know it's not the main topic yet, but it's part of what you do. You said when the girls get beaten bad, and we know sexual and gender-based violence is prevalent in our society. What recourse do some of these women have when they're just getting abused by men,
they
especially women that in the ghettos?
they don't have a recourse. They don't have. They don't have.
So there's no social system protection for this. I mean, are they just left whatever happens there? We don't care about it.
The first thing is in Liberia, somebody who that prostitute or that Zogo girl. I mean, we do not have a system of recourse. That's why my office is developing a gender-based violence office for such a thing. I mean, men use them, and when they ask them for their money, they get kicked and beaten in the night, and bruised up. There are many nights that I get telephone call about a girl in so and so ghetto that was beaten, that is almost killed, or one of us have died. Come,
Wow.
we need your help to bury. That kind of a request.
And so our police not interested in investigating that kind of situation where a Liberian citizen dies?
It's a difficult. It's a from my experience. They don't even go around there. If the body when the tire with the body being in the house with them, in the ghetto with them,
Mhm.
they put the body on the road, and when you go to the police say, well, it will take 3 days for the family to come identify the body before we take the body from there.
Wow.
And in 3 days, of course, you know there will be a decay.
Right.
Yeah, that
It is heat, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's hard. It's hard. I mean,
yeah, this is a very tough situation. I mean,
very hard.
and you so vested in it. What does society need to change in order for us to help restore some of these people and really make a serious effort? Have you put some numbers down to say, you know, we're talking about 1 million people. The per capita restoration rate is $700. So we're talking about maybe 700 million to change these people. I mean, is there any estimates, any of the institutions or government you talk to that um I say institution of government, you look at me.
It, well, I haven't done it. You, the economist, you, the one who deal with the type of figure. Um, Normally, is the social aspect, social and other aspect of it that I deal with a lot. Well, now that we are here and talking about that kind of a thing, I think it's a good place to be to get some people to come and help with that type of research.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of socioeconomic research we got to do, and data. I believe data is everything. If you can get information, then you can make some sound decisions about information. Um, but there are other institutions out there, and I'm sure there are different people doing some people like you doing these different things. Some churches are putting this effort because I'm sure this church supports your effort as well,
Yeah.
right? So, is there like some kind of organization, whether loose or fully defined, of all these practitioners in this area of support?
There's really not. For the last 2 years, I've been trying to get different institutions together. Somehow, I, I'm getting the feeling that a lot of Liberians don't trust that type of collaboration.
Do we trust any collaboration for that matter? Because you all the time, I mean, I love for us to work together, for us to collaborate. But oh, I can't work with that man. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do
You
that.
know,
So
and that hurts. And like I said, I got the energy to do this work, but the negatives of it, I don't have the energy to deal with it. You're trying to put people together, and it becomes a lot of wrangling. It takes the focus of what you're doing to this other one. Even though if you take 2 years to fix this one, you might go a long way.
right,
But a 2 years,
you don't got time for 2 years, right?
yeah.
Right. So I was impressed with the statement from the guy from SOS yesterday who welcomed potential collaboration. But it will be good to just know that people in this sector that really want to make a difference for our disadvantaged, our Zogo population, and all of that, can really get together and try to see how they can kind of first start sharing ideas, looking at some of the real practical success stories and solutions, at the same time being able to galvanize themselves in a way that they can probably apply a little more pressure on government from a budgeting, from an allocation, from an expenditure perspective to make a difference for our people.
I like what you said. There are two groups of people that I work with directly that we establish and work with. One is the Hard School Alumni Association, Hard HARD.
Right.
Being in the street there is a hard, like
It's no joke.
yeah, and those that have been there and in recovery, we gather them to our center twice a week. Some of them twice a week to talk about the problem they face, uh, the how their recovery is, their needs, and all of that. In fact, we got four of them back in college.
Wow.
Yeah, four of
I
them.
know I spoke with one who's on Cottontown.
Yeah, we got four of them back in college. We got about 10 persons back in high school, and we're working through all of that. We also have the family support system
Mm-hmm.
where parents come, we sit, we talk, they encourage each other, we pray together, and then they tell their stories about some who have overcome this, how their overcoming stories encourage other people to hang in there and what to do and all of that. and other people bring their discouraging stories about what's happening to them and their children. And I mean, families sit down together to talk,
Right.
and I, it has been wonderful. It's a wonderful experience when we gather together like that to talk about these problems.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's like a support system for the support system. So it's something that's needed. What do you think the role of government should be? Because I mean, all this stuff we're talking, it's not clear to me what role government is playing, whether it's gender, whether it's youth and sports, or whether it's some other agency out there that can really come and say, we by mandate, we are the one responsible for this population, and this is our plan.
Uh, I think the government has some plan that are written. Um, my problem is it seems to be just a plan.
Just on paper.
Well, like I said earlier, we can't have this amount of population and we're dragging our feet on everything else. I think, look, I think it's about time we say, look, legislature, we're paying you too much money. Our children,
A lot of people agree with you.
our children are dying. Can you give up 10% of your salaries so that we can attend to this population? Some of the recurring expenses in government, can we reduce it to deal with this issue? There are a lot of little rehabs that they are doing their best. They may not be perfect in doing what they should be doing, but the intentions are good. Can we find way to strengthen them and teach them to do it the right way? Government can look. There's a million people. I hear government is building a 500 bed rehabilitation center. You got a million. If you take 500 from it, you still got millions.
But that's still a start, though, right?
That's a start. I'm saying, okay.
But there should be a holistic program.
Yeah. You take that group, 500. The other people there, by the time you finish with that 500, by the time you finish with this 500 that you took from the ghetto, there are space that were 500, you maybe got 1,500 there. You're doing some work.
Honestly, what you're saying, yeah, you're taking some people
Yeah.
out, but the insertion rate is much higher than the ejection rate.
Than that. So encourage. Look, this is rehab is a hospital. It's I take how many hospitals you got in this country? I mean, you got right here. You got GFK and Cali Hospital right in proximity.
Mhm.
Nobody complains about that. It's needed. These little rehab government try to subsidize their work
Mhm.
and teach them how to do it properly. That's that. I think that should be the work of the government.
I mean, a lot of people would say, what happened with the people's families? I know a cousin of mine, her son was supposed to be coming out, and she called me and gave me the information for her. And I think I spoke to you briefly about it. But his manager, who's managing his program, didn't feel he was ready. So is this a timing thing? If you're there for 6 months, then it's time for you to just go, or you really think there's a point where if that person leaves too early,
Yeah,
they can relapse more quickly?
Yeah, it leaves too early. It leaves too early. The boy you saw yesterday, he and I have been going back and forth since 2020. 2020 or 2019.
6 7 years.
Yeah, I've seen him in this ghetto. Then he saw me the next time. I had him recorded his password, his power text. I said, give me your phone number. I must say I'm vexed for you that you're here. Your father sent you to Cottington. In your second semester, you leave, and you expect him to be happy about that, and you live in the ghetto. I said, give me your father number. He ran away from there. He went to Tinga Village, ghetto. I went there, I saw him. When he saw me there twice, he ran away. He went to Kampala. I went and saw him and said, look, God
But
sent
Kampala is in Pong County.
Yeah.
So somebody leave from Monrovia and go establish
Oh, yeah.
or go connect with different.
I went to Basel, and the guy came running to me. You know me? I said, I should know you. He said, oh, and you used to bring food and talk to us to pack up in? I said, oh, yeah, okay. If you know that much, then I know you. They migrate a lot.
Wow.
For different. You hear your parents try to find you out that you hear, and you don't want them to find you out, you leave and go somewhere else. You hear, and you think that there are people more superior than you, and you want a little more power.
Mhm.
You leave and go to a smaller ghetto, and you can talk. You got strong up. You rise to power sooner.
So what about parents? Because I can just imagine me as a parent, the way I love my children, and when they get into this kind of situation, it will be so frustrating. Where I'm in the street, where they could be home, protected in a way, doing stuff for them. Why do they prefer that life? And how do parents really feel?
Let me say it this way. The feeling, to a large extent, women feel different than men. They express it differently.
Right.
I'm not diminishing anyone's love for the child.
Well, I think the mothers really do stand out more in that respect. Especially Liberian mothers, I give them credit.
I got a call one day from a mother. She described her house. I went running there. They lock up the son, who's her older son.
Right.
The father works with metal steel. She works in the UN cycle.
Wow. So this is comparatively, this is a high earning family.
Yeah. And this boy has gotten on drugs. So they try to contain him. They put him in one section of the house and lock it up. Somehow he gets matches, lights his mattress up, and they call the mother. But luckily, the community busted the lock, and he came out and they put up the fire. When I got there, she's screaming, crying. Her son, the little sister, is in the US studying. He has been to Uganda and all the places with his mother. And she's crying. How can she get her son back to normal? She called the father, crying, and said, "This is your son. Here's what he did." Yeah, don't call me for that type of nonsense again. Don't call me for that type of thing. You're okay yourself. He not the only child I got. He said my daughter won't be good, I will take care of my daughter. And I could hear the frustration in him.
Yes.
And then he said, that how he treats me all the time. I said, don't even say that. Listen to the frustration in your father. Your father won't be proud of you. But you go down the road all the time. I had to put a rock in my office. Mother opened the door and fall down and just cry. My best son. My son who's everything to me. This girl is clever. I don't know why she follows friends. And that's how it just goes on and on and on.
So I heard a story yesterday, and you've been saying people call you grandpa, right? But of somebody I met last week, and he was telling me a story about his nephew. Um, he's considered a Zogo, and he has a relationship with a young lady, but the young lady wanted to leave him. So he went to try to intervene and asked her to stay. And she kind of respected his input and everything. And he went to the point where he said, maybe if this man can, produce a child, maybe he can have a child with him, it will help him. It could turn his life around. It will make him more responsible. Long story short, 2, 3 years later, she has a child, right? And the young man is taking the child to the ghetto now. So this is a serious problem, folks. And that's somebody who outside of killer, that's a whole different experience there. They did everything. They built a place for him on the side of the house where he and his family could have a room, living room, kitchen. I mean, like a new house they basically built for him because they love him. They want him to be
Addiction is a
correct person.
disease. It's a disease of its own. It when you're addicted, it wears away your thinking.
So how can somebody who's addicted really want to change and be different? What drives them to want to change?
Sometimes they hit rock bottom. Look, let me tell you this. A lot of times, you see those children in the ghetto, they pray more than a lot of pastors.
I told somebody the other day, the times I've been to the ghetto because you minister on Sunday in most of the ghettos, right? They know all the church songs.
Not only that, in the absence of us being there, when they hit in their bed at night and all by themselves, these children pray to God, God, take me from this place. You know that I'm where I belong. You know I won't be here. Take me from this place. I don't know what I'm doing here. The prodigal son, they pray. But the next morning, when that withdrawal syndrome starts, they call it the June, when it starts, and the knee are fixed, and they gotta go take another drug to keep normal. Hey, sometimes we want to blame them.
But it's a disease.
It's a disease. People can say, why they can't stop? No, they cannot stop. How many of us can stop getting malaria if we don't take malaria medication?
We'll die.
They can't stop by themselves. It's difficult.
Okay. So let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow, because that's when we're going to be launching on the red carpet, the Diamonds in the Dirt. This is the opportunity for you to tell the people
Diamonds in the Dirt.
Right.
It's a book about how we, the community, need to come together to clean up our cities and get its richness, its fullness. Because when we clean up the ghettos, our children will be the one that will lead our future. Look, these children are our future. Diamonds in the Dirt is about how we can. Let me just read something other it for you.
Sure.
It says here, this chapter is filled with these voices. The story of Benjamin, who was a child soldier taught to kill before he even learned how to read. This is a story of Martha, who turned to drugs after being ostracized by her family for a pregnancy caused by rape. We need to learn from this that sometimes, many times, it's not of their own doing. It's not because they were led by peer pressure. It's because they felt ostracized from their society. They found a place that they belong. When we make our children belong to the wrong places, when we stop talking to them, we do a lot of things to ourselves, which we all regret. These children need our unconditional love. They need us. One of the things that we do in all of this is we sit when I get to the ghetto, we sit on overturned buckets on the dirt ground. We listen. We listen to the stories that will break our hearts, break even hearts of stone. Their stories of war, of watching families murdered, of being forced into Malaysia, of rape, of betrayal, of dream, systematically demeaning situations. Their life becomes shattered. Diamonds in the Dirt is about rebuilding these lives.
Wonderful.
Diamonds in the Dirt is about reshaping these diamonds, cleaning them, polishing them, and putting them on our jewelry so that they can shine. Unless if you got a diamond laying down here, its value is diminished. You can take 12 diamonds and put them here, their value diminished. Unless you polish it to the point where you will put it in a ring, a necklace, or some other valuable thing where it will glitter. Hey, there's a lot of work we need to do. Diamond in the Dirt is for families. Read it. Understand the environment.
You do have some pieces on devotion, right? Prayers and
one of the things I did in this book is I brought my faith with the science together. There are a lot of in chapter 2. Chapter 2 is about extracting the diamonds.
That whole process.
Yeah. Chapter 2 is the first touch. The first touch and sit it down in the dust. You become friends. It's making a friend. So I start chapter 2. What a friend we have in Jesus. Oh, our sins.
That musician, talented man.
What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer.
Amen.
We need, look, it doesn't matter what we do, the scientists we become. Our faith has a strong emphasis on who we are. This book starts with our first devotion is from Proverbs 2, 4, and 5. If you seek hard as silver and search for all in the hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and will find the wisdom of God in it. It's seeking the treasure where it is hidden.
Folks, you heard it? Yeah. This is Diamonds in the Dirt author, Reverend Caleb S.G. Dormah. He has put a masterpiece together. Try to get your copy. Tomorrow is the book launch at Ala Lagoon at 4:30 p.m. That's in Congatown Back Road. And for those who want to contact the Reverend, his number is for the public. It's an easy number: 0777 999 111. 0777 999 111. Sorry, we didn't have time to get people in the calls. But if you want to support this effort, the mobile money is easy too. I'll repeat it. I'll say it like at least 3 times. 0880 447 198. And for those who may be trying to send Cash App, or I'm not Cash App, send wave or something, you gotta put the +231 880 447 198. 880 447 198. The UBA account number, I think it'll be better if you call the 0777 999 111 and get that. But if you Can write it down? That's wonderful. It's 530-405-50-0000287. Again, 530-405-00000287. That's the UBA number if you want to support this effort. But we want to thank all of those who listen and our studio coordinator, our engineer who helped us through this process. And Caleb, I want to tell you thank you. What you're doing is impressive. I know there are other people out there doing something similar, but I don't know them personally. I know you. So bringing your story, exposing it, sharing the information about you, and through you, the crab, maybe other crawfish can drink water. So it's just an appeal, my people, that this is not just one person problem. It's a national problem, and we need to put our act together. We need to collaborate. We need to work together. We need to ensure that there is funding out there to help solve this problem. So we ask Caleb for his last words, and his voice will be the last voice you hear.
I want to thank you all out there. I just have come to say 90% of the proceeds from this book goes to Graceland, the house that house the children who are born of ghetto parents who do not know anyone else. We were there yesterday opening the house, feeding them, clothing them, sending them to school, medical bills. That's why I'm committing 90% of the proceeds from this book to it. I want to thank you all out there for your patience this morning to listen to us. Thank you. Be a part of tomorrow lunch. Buy a book. Share it with someone else. Don't just buy one. Buy many books. Share it out with other people and talk to me about it. Let's see how we can make this world a better place. The people we are talking about, they are our tomorrow. They are our extension. We need to retire. And unless we treat them as we should treat them, we ourselves will suffer when our knees and back are aching. We will have to get up from bed to go to work. They are our tomorrow. Treat our tomorrow like our tomorrow, our extension. Thank you. What double on?
But who's just listening to a special feature? With,
Hello.
The Reverend Dr.
Yeah.
Ambassador Kenneth S. Dormah.
Yes.
I'd like to say thanks for listening. Sorry, couldn't pick
No,
up calls.
I was just on the air. And
So much for this. This is the 98.7 FM. The radio service on the Liberia and Congo.
okay.